Yo, yo, yo. It's Moss 808 brought to you by the Esoteric Soul G. And I've had and shared and generated a lot of events. So you can call your spiritual experiences, and there's events. Your energy being vented out amongst others and being fanned and scattered and lightened, mixing, alchemizing with the air and the breeze and the currency, the flow of the current and the fluids, not just heavy connection in the waters, but with shared ideas and thought forms, because thought forms are boxes, but boxes have links and boxes have interchangeable medians or circuits or many connectors that connect the thought forms. They don't just immediately merge into one idea or concept at first. They link. The energy is equalized between the two, and you start a rotation. That's how clouds connect and form and create different currents that come together and produce an event that is transformative to the environment on a scale of, chaos energy and paranormal energy is natural, but on the celestial plane of natural occurrences, with blending energies. So I break all that down to break down my ego, or my autopilot, or whoever was steering it. It was times our generation, I know, we have been on autopilot. And as we come to know ourselves and our power during these terms, and our how we are able to be reached and how we are able to reach our spiritual near and far-sightedness. You can, in math class, you use the measuring rod, but you won't necessarily know what the numbers are. But if you're using, say, a piece of measuring tape, you can play with it and see how far it will go, and you get all tangled up, and the further it's out from you, that's dealing with another video, timeliness of being more recent in the, that version of the present. That is a gift that you're excited about because you see how far your potential is with that instrument. It's an instrument being in that place. It's not your spirit being in that space yet. It is your antennas, your frequency range, like Wi-Fi or satellites, being completely out of space, but you're completely here on this grounded energy. And you can be on autopilot, even on social media. It's so much different because you don't have to go to an auditorium. You can go to an auditorium online. You don't have to wait in a line outside of a stadium or theater. Excuse me, y'all. I'm not draining. It's just this energy is expanding. Throat chakra. You don't have to wait in the line outside around the block or corner. You might be in someone's back rooms, during these podcasts where you can join as a guest or a visitor. But you don't have to wait when you typically jump on people's lives. But you also do kind of have to wait. You have to wait for the energy to, for a energy if you're esoterically inverted and you're just on autopilot externally, you know what I'm saying, and you connect like a link to an energy, or you see a link energy signature that you might see the other hosts casting out, right? So with that type of energy being in mind, you don't have to be a heckler or a troll. Like back in the 90s during stand-up, watch Def Comedy Jams, they were straight roasting trolls on that thing back then. They had trolls more than they do today. It's just they were showing their face. You can see that actual face, and they got them the fuck up out of here. So I think that's why the energy hits different. But you got some trolls. You don't have to heckle, but that's what makes trolling is they're not heckling because they're inebriated or intoxicated or joking. They genuinely disagree, or they feel like they have the main stage. Like, you can just request this energy or see where you're at or link with the energy, or you use your energy, right? So that's why when you're not speaking up, projecting your energy and seeing how you're being related, as in the comments or on the live, or taking something instantly and remixing and teaching that you thought and making it work for yourself, or practicing it within yourself first, then going online and stuff like that, like to see what space or parameter your teachers are in. Which brings me to my point: be mindful of who you look up to. Like, for some reason, the spirits through Pluto and Libra, transforming how you bring balance and appreciation and relationships, and taking power and control. Like, we have a similar situation with Libra in the South Node. We're looking back on our previous ways of relating and making certain conversations black and white. And then back of my right neck itching. Black and white, right? But you got that Pluto and Libra generation, or even Pluto in, not Scorpio, but Pluto and Virgo. You still got some of those dinosaurs lingering around. Respect the dinosaurs. You know, when you're a toddler, you love dinosaurs. They're bigger than life. That's why we stand on the shoulders of giants to see, not pull, you know what I'm saying, that generation below us. It's different times, and people do what they had to do to survive. Like, how are you going to use a root chakra and invert a root over another root? Like, type shit. I'm gonna make another video about that. But it's easy and simple to get attached, from my personal experience, get attached to certain energy signatures and not seeing someone on a personal level. Because as we draw more and more into an energy of what death looks like, you see certain philosophers or main faces or content creators, entertainers, performers, artists, you know, all under the umbrella, putting a death to certain egos, or death to faces, or death is coming to them. You know, you can either fall into the arms of death, or death will greet you with open arms, or you're just aligned with a place where you look at death and it may be your time and it may not, for the face, for the form, even for the micro links. If you see a mini death in a situation near you, near your family, then that's a mini death of a link. But anyways, and as they put death to these things, the energies that you attach to, the energies that you are reciprocating, you might catch a stray bullet by them putting the death to an energy. Like, when you kill off a face, sometimes you kill off the fan base, you disengage the fans before they're ready to disengage. If you just shift up your content without transitioning, like, the public eye is important in that sense, as far as the caring nature, because I know that we have particular asteroids in water, cardinal Libra and cardinal Capricorn, still expanding, and these are all feminine energies, right? That are being recycled frequently, like closer to our space than the moon and all those energies, right? So when they disengage or disattach, they might not come back because of how you pulled the Band-Aid off, or the reality that they were coming to themselves. So you're being mindful of that, right? And so you might catch a wound, a wound is going to be needed because you're going to have to use your own wound to initiate, be your own leader, be your own boss, butt heads with some of your own family. But then again, Aries isn't really about family, but with some of your younger thoughts, some projection of an autopilot sense of yourself that was being upheld, 5th house, fixed energy, fixed with fire. You're going to have to go to war with a fixed flame, because when Aries doesn't mind sparking ideas, sparking expression, it has difficulty keeping attention and getting distracted with other things that it feels like it's not gonna necessarily go and add to something separate, but in a way it's gonna be a unique visual, but it's not gonna be aided to that fixed fire that or the other vision. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be a whole new thing by itself. You're not gonna see it like, oh, let me turn around because I gotta add this. It's gonna be something new, and if it comes back around to that energy, then it comes back around to that energy. You feel me? So when it comes back around into that energy, I personally had a hive mind, looking for a leader, looking for someone to lead me, because that is how I got into spirituality, as far as spiritual tools, as far as like you go to a warehouse and sometimes you just have to take off the training wheels. That's how dads learn, you know what I'm saying? The dad jokes and all that shit, but it's based on reality. You have a honey-do list and you don't necessarily know all the tools, but you know the fundamentals, the screw, the hammer, the screwdriver, maybe a drill. If you advance, you know the brand of the drill, you know the batteries, the wiring, and you just have to fuck around, make mistakes, and find out on your own. Don't get lost in someone else's vision. Like, have many different teachers. Don't have one. If you're doing that, then you're just doing the same thing as a religion, and you're trying to connect. And you might see yourself trying to connect with others in the group so that you can. There's more energy expended on upholding this form rather than like you collaborate on your own forms, but you might build a religion or type things. And when you're looking for that type of energy, you look for structure and discipline that you didn't get at home. Like, my father worked nights and my biological wasn't in the picture. So, but I'm a life path 8 though, so I'm relearning how to use authority for myself, but not be in both worlds, to carve that out and make that into an experience that I can teach versus just drawing from or draining, being vampiric. Shout out to my life path 8s. If you have this life path, you know what I'm talking about. But don't be so high-minded that you're just working without consulting, generating the honey without consulting, or stinging someone for killing your own self spiritually. If you're gonna kill somebody for the sake of stinging, kill your motherfucking ego so that you ascend. If you're gonna sting somebody, sting that version of your mama or your pappy that wounded you, that abused you. Because you can realize when you go through that death, beasts don't have that venom. But if we're talking scorpions or wasps and stuff, it's anti-venom. The only cure for snake poison is anti-venom, the venom in itself. So that's why you're giving them the same energy that they gave you, but it's being transmuted, it's being neutral, it's being nullified, it's only being not more toxic, But the alchemy, the effect, the potency isn't the same, because you still might be holding back. But if you're in your beginning journey, then you don't know your poison. This goes for the same, like I said, with your teachers and things of that nature, stingers. But when you use the anti-venom, you see how it feels when you use your own venom. You see how it feels to be the predator, how it's killing you inside, because they were on autopilot and they knew not what they did. But you know, that's another video. To know your child is to know thyself. So be careful with who you're following or how you're following. Be careful and know thyself as far as your patterns, as your history, as your addictive tendencies or substance abuse, because these play a role in the substance that you are abusing, or seeing an individual as a substance or as a crutch and abusing that energy and being hive-minded and secluding yourself and restricting yourself or anybody outside of you with the potential for your growth, with a fixed opinion spiritually or not, or levels or not, or angel or hierarchy or not. Because you know, as above, so below. If you're as within, then you're so without. If you are as within, following somebody, you're looking for somebody within you. If you're looking for somebody to possess you, your spirit, then you're so without. You are with the out. You're with the exoteric, the egocentricalness. And that's not the way to be. Forever. I was gonna say, like, if you want to grow, but you can still grow. It's just a slow growth. You're just going through growing pains. You're like a rose growing out of the concrete. You gotta get back to your roots, to your nature, to the forest. You're going to be bold enough yourself to generate the concrete. You're going to separate the concrete, pavement, the Capricorn energy, and add structures from your environment. So just be mindful, be safe, be protected, be aware, know thyself, know thy habits, thy traits, thy past, thy history, thy lineage, and don't just be all on one ship. You can see that in Venus, the South Node. Not just Venus, South Node in Libra. And your parents, Pluto in Libra, it reminds you of your parents. You're maturing. A lot of us are in our Saturn returns, or entering. You're maturing. I just want to drop that gem. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and listening, lending the ear. Love y'all for y'all support. Keep sharing, because it's really getting the audience up there that whom these messages need to be geared to. So thank you guys. I really appreciate you so freaking much. You have no idea. Literally, you have no identity. All you have is a collectiveness. We are the nation. You're